This is a sublimation crafter's worst nightmare. If you use a converted Epson printer for your sublimation printer, then you may have printed a printer purge file where all 4 colors should be represented, and instead you end up with just 2 of them, because that's exactly what happened to me. My name is Alex Vanover with DIY Alex. I teach Cricut tutorials and sublimation crafts, and I'm so glad that you're here, because in this video, I'm gonna take you through the raw and unfiltered process of how I unclogged my Epson ST2000 Ecotank Sublimation Printer and all the steps that I took to restore it back to normal. Plus, stick around until the end of this video for some tips and tricks for maintaining your printer and what to do to maintain it so that hopefully doesn't continue to happen. Now, let's get into it. So let me tell you what has happened so far and give you a little bit of context, and then I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna try to do to my Epson ST2000 to unclog it and see if we can save it. So for full context, this did happen to my other printer, which is an Epson ST4000 about a month ago. So even though I've been printing very regularly ever since, I was doing some test prints today just to make sure my printer is being printed on regularly, and that's when I found out that I had a problem. So I printed these first 2 images and nothing looked off to me. Everything looked completely fine. But then I went to print a 3rd page. This was supposed to be a green and blue tie-dye, and it literally came out red and orange. So I definitely knew that there was a problem. Some other things that I noticed from the last time my other printer clogged was that I started to see some lines across my image, like this one here and this one here. And I can usually tell when there are lines across an image that something is going wrong with the ink line or the ink, or something is happening, something is clogging or not working properly. So this is when I knew that I had an issue. So the first thing I did to see what the problem was I printed a printer purge file. Now you can just Google printer purge file if you want, and that will give you a page full of prints so that each and every color of ink that you have in your printer is engaged, right? So you're printing like a solid stripe of each color from your printer. And this is not what it's supposed to look like, because the yellow and the cyan are completely missing from the center of this printer purge file. So that tells me that I definitely have a clog. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try a couple of regular print head cleanings. So keep in mind that every printer could be different when it comes to initiating a print head cleaning, but the way that it works on my Epson ST2000 is to go over to maintenance and then cycle through the arrows until you get to head cleaning. Then I'll click OK to initiate it. So we need to clean the print head to correct missing dots, and then we'll click the button to begin cleaning. So once the head cleaning finishes, then it's gonna ask you if you wanna finish up or if you want a nozzle check. Well, if you click finish, you're not gonna know if it worked. So I always choose nozzle check and then say okay, and print out a test page to see. So what we can see here is that the yellow is starting to have some lines at the top, but it is definitely not fixed. And there is absolutely nothing for the cyan here at the bottom, which definitely means our print heads are not clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and try maybe 1 to 2 more print head cleanings and see if that will help anything. And then if that doesn't work, I'm gonna pull out the big guns and try a power clean. So then to continue the process, it's gonna ask if there are any missing segments. And the obvious answer to that is yes, at least in my case. So we're gonna click yes again to initiate another print head cleaning. So after my second print head cleaning, this is what my print head alignment looks like. And I'm starting to see problems in other areas. So before, at least my magenta was fully solid lines, and so was my black. And now that I can see that my print head cleaning is negatively impacting my other colors, instead of doing additional print head cleanings, I'm now gonna resort to a power clean. So a power clean is kind of like a print head cleaning on steroids, and we are going to go ahead and try that. So to navigate to a power head cleaning, we'll wanna go back and we're gonna say no. We're just gonna stop there. I'm still in my maintenance menu and I'm gonna go over to power cleaning, and then I'm gonna click OK to proceed. And then it's gonna have me go to the epson.com/support to figure out how to do a printhead cleaning. So to do a power clean, I'm gonna hold down the help button, which is the question mark, and the power button down at the same time until the option pops up on my screen. When I did this on my other printer, I did have to hold it in for a long time, but nothing is happening. So I'm gonna try clicking the home button, and I'm gonna try it. Well, actually, maybe I'll turn it off and then I'll try a power clean from there. We'll just see if that works. So now that the printer's off, I'm gonna try holding down the help button, which is the question mark, and the power button at the same time. And now it's asking me if I want to do a power head cleaning, and it wants me to confirm that all ink tanks are at least a third full, and they are. So I'm gonna click OK to begin the power clean. So it does let us know that this is gonna take about 10 minutes to complete the power cleaning. So I'm just gonna leave my printer to it and see what happens after the power cleaning. So now that the power cleaning is finished, it says that the print quality will be improved after 12 hours. I don't know why it takes 12 hours, but that's what it says. When I did this the last time, I didn't wait the full 12 hours to print, but I am gonna take its advice and just let my printer hang out for a little bit and see if this helps me. My next step is to print a printer purge file and to see how the colors show up. So we'll see how this worked. Okay, so I started the process of unclogging my printer yesterday. It is now the following day, and I finished the power clean, but I didn't leave it overnight necessarily on purpose without printing anything. That's just honestly kind of what happened. But now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's print a printer purge file and see how the colors come out. And by the way, as soon as I realized that my printer was clogged, I added regular printer paper to my printer because for all of these test prints, I don't see the value in wasting sublimation paper, so I'm just printing on a regular printer paper. Let's see how these colors turn out. Oh my goodness, you guys, the power clean saved the day and it saved my printer. Now I know that the printer is working properly because with this printer purge file, all 4 stripes are perfectly filled in. There's no spots that are missing. Now you might see a little bit of striping throughout these, but I did not turn the quality up to high, so that's perfectly fine and totally expected. But the power clean saved the day. Now my printer is unclogged and working properly. So if you have issues with your Epson Ecotank printer that is converted for sublimation, I recommend utilizing these tips, including a power clean and a printer purge file to try and correct it, and hopefully you can save your printer. So now that you've seen the process of me unclog my sublimation printer, you may be asking yourself, well, what do I need to do so that that doesn't happen to me? So the first thing that I recommend that you do if you have a converted Epson Ecotank printer for sublimation is to regularly print on your printer. Now keep in mind, before my printer's clogged, because at this point, both of my printers have actually been through this process, I was printing approximately once a week, and that still was not enough. So I've now increased it to about twice a week, and that seems to be working a lot better because I haven't had any clogs since then. So I'm gonna recommend to you that you print at least twice a week, even if it's just a printer purge file or the same image over and over again. Just make sure that you're utilizing all the colors so that you'll know if there's a problem with just one particular color clogging. Another piece of advice that I want to give you is not to rely on print head cleanings as maintenance for your printer. And the reason for this is because doing repetitive print head cleanings can actually shorten the life of your printer if that's your only method of maintenance. Now, of course, if you get into a situation like I did where your printer is actually clogged, you have no choice but to do a print head cleaning or even a power clean. But it's better to go ahead and proactively print your pages rather than rely on a print head cleaning to maintain your printer. Do you use a converted Epson Ecotank printer for sublimation? Let me know down in the comments below. If you learned something in this video, then don't forget to give it a like and be sure to subscribe to DIY Alex for more videos a lot like this one every single week. Plus, I love connecting with you guys on social media, so please use the links down in the description below to find me on all your favorite social media platforms. All the hearts.